We got another one of them. Popping at the mouth or the side of his neck when he pouts. No argument, no rebuttal from. He ain't from my town, I don't know him, so I'm guessing he's a clown.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. In today's episode, we talk about Matt Riddle presents Monday Night Raw, the Matt Riddle show, because this show was all about Matt Riddle. So we're going to talk about the Riddle RK Bro storyline here. So we get a mixture of all the previous weeks in this one fine package of an episode. So it starts with the Battle Royal. We hear that Randy Orton is not going to be able to participate due to a no-show. But they never said where Randy Orton went. They never alluded to anything. Instead, they just said Randy Orton couldn't make it. In which time they were going to replace him by putting random superstars in a Battle Royal. Okay, that works. So Riddle says, look, you can't take this opportunity away from Randy. I want to take his place. He even turns in a letter, which is hilarious. And it sounds like a high school student wrote it. But it was pretty funny, and it had pictures. It had like a little snake squiggled on it. So it was funny. And he just wants to save Randy's spot, because he wants RK Bro in the Money in the Bank. And he says, hey, I'll win the Battle Royal and I'll win the triple threat match. It'll keep Randy in the conversation, pretty much. So Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, they give it a thumbs up. Of course, they should not have done that, but whatever. They shouldn't have done it because it does screw over all of the people who were, again, last week complaining they didn't get a shot, and now you got this guy wrestling for somebody else. It just seemed to make no sense. The Battle Royal itself, though, was kind of fun. You had Ali throwing out Mansoor after he helped him. You had almost helping to eliminate the Viking Raiders. You had 3 24/7 title changes. Damian Priest and Jinder Mahal had a little encounter, which ended up with Jinder Mahal being thrown out, which was weird. I mean, because they seemed to forgot already his storyline where he wanted to be the alternate. So it seemed like a natural position where if he says something were to happen to Drew McIntyre, consider me the alternate. Or it's like something happened to Randy Orton. Shouldn't we have had an alternate? I don't know. That would have required thinking 2 weeks ago. It came down to Riddle and Priest as the final two. They had a great exchange. And Riddle ended up winning. So Riddle is going to wrestle in the main event in the triple threat match. So he's doing a lot of work to maintain this friendship. And I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the amount of effort he's putting in on his friendship. And it's really getting his character over. Because a lot of people are really starting to see the chops of Riddle. Not just as a comedian, but as him basically doing Randy Orton. He's mocking Randy Orton in 1 minute, but he's also very much still Matt Riddle. He still wrestles like himself. He's just incorporating different pieces of Randy Orton's game. But furthermore, he's showing range. Like he can do more than one thing. He's not just wrestling guy, which is what you need. That's what you need. So Damian Priest walks up to Riddle about an hour or so later, and Riddle is in full Randy Orton mode. He's even wearing an RK Bro hoodie. And he tells Damian Priest that he's not Matt Riddle. He's Randy Orton. And so Damian Priest just goes along with it because nothing matters. This is stupid. Stop doing this. Nothing. Just goes along. Like, well, okay, listen. If you see Matt Riddle, you can tell him we need to go get some Burger King chicken sandwiches. And then Riddle tries to play the lock and key game with him. And Damian Priest just looks at him like, brother, I have no idea what you're doing. I'm going to go this way. And all of a sudden, Riddle's like, come on, bro. It was me. And then, this is what made it charming. He says, I knew it was you the whole time. This is what Damian Priest says. And Riddle smiles. Like, yeah, bro, you do it with me? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Anyway, this whole ordeal he's going through is so that, to help Randy. He just thinks that this is going to help Randy, that Randy's just having one bad day. Shouldn't miss a big opportunity for that. So Damian Priest says, look, I think Randy Orton is lucky to have you for a friend. And he's like, oh, which is, of course, true. So the main event, Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, and Riddle for the Money in the Bank qualifier. This match ruled. It was pretty fucking good. Can't really go wrong. 3 great workers in it. Riddle and Styles dumped Drew McIntyre through the floor. Not through the floor. Through the table, which of course led him to take a nap. Because that's WWE triple threat matches for you. Somebody has to take a nap. Then we did do the spot where Riddle kicked the stairs. You know, he ran and kicked the stairs, and then he was down. He was selling it, and as he was being carried away, he kept saying, like, I can't let Randy down. And that's his motivation. He's sticking to his motivation. His motivation is he can't let Randy down. So Styles and McIntyre continued the match, of course. They're hell of a match. And then Riddle comes to the ring. And this is we started getting into the finishing sequence. As Riddle hits AJ Styles with the RKO. And he gets a 2 count because Amos pulls AJ Styles out of the ring. And he's, you know, of course, distracted by Amos yanking AJ from the ring. And he turns around, walks right into a Claymore, and gets pinned. While it was a quite good main event, of course, Drew McIntyre wins, which soured a lot of people on this match because earlier in the night, Drew McIntyre gave us another history lesson, which they're definitely departing from what his character should be. I don't know what his character went into history YouTube guy. I just don't know how that happens. Like, he just become, let me tell you something. This reminds me of a little story. I just don't see why. I don't see why he does that now. Especially considering I just did a video talking about making big stars relatable, or should they be relatable? American audiences can't really relate to what the hell he's talking about. And you can see a lot of people are kind of like, don't get it. You know, like, you have to realize, you have to read the room. Like, we get it. You know Scottish history, but you're not in Scotland. Americans don't know what you're talking about. They don't see how it relates to this situation. We just don't see it. And then, of course, he said, it's ridiculous. It's like saving Christmas. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What was the point of all this? They're really making Drew look like a fucking idiot. And it actually making us very tired of Drew. Because, hell, I'm a big Drew supporter, and I'm tired of Drew. You know, he's been in the main event scene for a full calendar year straight. He's either been chasing the title or in the title match. We needed a break from Drew McIntyre. It would seem like we're not going to get it. Now, I thought it would have been more poetic for this whole night to end with Randy Orton appearing and giving Riddle an RKO. And then that causes Riddle to lose. Because I kind of figured Riddle would lose. And it makes sense to put him in that match to lose. Because, you know. But at the same time, so I'm guessing whatever they were going to do with Jinder Mahal, they're probably going to do it next week. Or the week before. However that goes. Or this is the week before. Or the week after. Or maybe even at the show of Money in the Bank. But ultimately, I thought Randy Orton was turning on Riddle tonight. Well, at this show, I shouldn't say tonight. On this episode of Raw. I felt like it would have been poetic. It would have been brutal. And it would have been great for Riddle's character. And like I said, that sword of Damascus, that RKO is constantly dangling overhead. It's constantly there. Because we knew as soon as this RK Bro thing started, it was coming. It's Randy Orton's gimmick to betray people. It's been his gimmick for a long time. He's going to do it. But I guess it's better to wait for the crowd, you know. And maybe at Money in the Bank is when it'll actually happen, you know. So, but this was a fairly good segment. Fairly good segment of the show. Riddle got to show a lot of range. He got to show that he's a workhorse. And he could do comedy stuff. And he could do character stuff. And he could do not just comedy, but he can have range in terms of comedy. In that he can be sweet as well, you know, the whole thing, I gotta do it for Randy, you know, that's very, you know, God, what's the word I'm looking for? That's very touching. Let's just say touching. Let's just use that he is that he feels that close to Randy that he's willing to put his own body on the line and wrestle multiple matches so that Randy can get an opportunity. That's special. That means something. So I liked it. But let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, donate to the channel via Subscribestar. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.
I can